Tien Shinhan was a bad guy? Didn't you just hate his guts? No? Well, you clearly don't remember him. Go check out the original Dragon Ball. You'll see what I mean. What's up everybody, StevDez here, and welcome to another edition of Dragon Ball Days for Goku Month! Of all the people in Goku's childhood, there is one that stands on the level of the likes of Sano, Eider, Konkichi, a bunch of the friends that made an appearance but didn't really make as long of a second appearance. I'm of course speaking about Nam, the desert warrior who joined the 21st World Martial Arts Tournament and had his first loss at the hands of Son Goku as a child. We wouldn't end up seeing Nam again until the 22nd World Martial Arts Tournament, which, yeah, that didn't really pan out very well for him. Kind of painful. It does really suck, but I think the reason Toriyama had it written that he was boasting that he would train really hard in order to beat Goku this time, just to replace him with the likes of Tien Shinhan as far as an important rival. Thank you for sneezing in the middle of that, Shiloh. I do believe Toriyama's plan was to replace the likes of Nam with the likes of Tien Shinhan and develop that character further, being more of a warrior. Of course, we're talking about Toriyama, who likes to do things as, you know, he ends up writing. Still, that rematch with Nam, that would have been one for the ages! They both knew each other's moves, and that would have been something everybody was looking forward to. And then Tien Shinhan had to be the villain of the Tien Shinhan saga. So, sorry Nam, but your martial arts days ended there, and your life ended with Tambourine. Which begs the question, what if Nam had defeated Tien Shinhan in the preliminaries? Before we get into this though, I want to make something clear. That I'm not just gonna increase Nam's power level in order to make this feat happen. For all intents and purposes, Nam would need a surefire way to increase his power level legitimately in order to actually make this what if go. Some solid logistic reasoning that Nam could have gotten better training somewhere in his time between the tournaments, in which case we do find that in this what if. I'm not just gonna start it at the preliminaries and say that, hey, Nam beat Tien. There's gonna be a rhyme or reason behind it. For the logic behind this, we're actually gonna start this story at the Fortuneteller Baba Saga. You know, after the 21st World Martial Arts Tournament, Goku goes out on the Nimbus to search for the Dragon Balls, and then he ends up finding Nam and finding Jiren and breaking the merry-go-round gum or whatever it was holding the dam. Honestly, I forget the name of it. But he does remember that he helped Nam immediately after the 21st World Martial Arts Tournament. Not to mention, he did help Nam's people as well. After the likes of the Red Ribbon Army's taken care of, well, he'd need some fighters for Fortuneteller Baba's tournament. He naturally thinks of Krillin and Yamcha, but he decides that maybe Nam would be available too. Or Jiren. Jiren was powerful. Oh, I'm sorry, Giren. I always get that wrong. He does decide, I'm gonna stop and see Giren first because, well, he's on the way to Nam. They are pretty close together. He does land on the mountain where Giren's race exists, and to be fair, they recognize this spiky-haired child. They're not gonna mess with him. However, the ones that aren't fighting point him to where Giren is fighting. A couple of people that want to dethrone the king and take the village of their own. You know, they're the rulers. Giren lost to a kid. He's not good enough. Well, Giren's good enough. He's putting these two in their place when Goku shows up, and, of course, Giren is in his own way friendly to the kid. He's gotta be, after all. He did lose legitimately to Goku. Giren would recognize the name Fortuneteller Baba and have one condition to him helping his former rival of the 21st World Martial Arts Tournament, and that would be he gets to ask his own questions to Baba. If, they win. If they lose, pff, tough luck, Pipsqueak. Goku accepts this and leads Giran away. Giran asks about where they're headed, and Goku tells him that they're gonna go see if Nam wants to join too. This'll be fun!
Hey kid, so why are we going to get this desert urchin for?
Baba said that she would have 5 fighters, so I thought that we should have 5 fighters. And I know quite a few people who are really powerful.
Yeah, but why not Jackie Chun or someone with some talent? Why do we have to deal with this desert guy who's a skin and bone twig?
That's not very nice. Nam's a great fighter. He lasted longer than you did.
Giran bites his tongue and just flies with Goku, not wanting to continue the conversation anymore. Nam is excited to see Goku, but does question why Giran's here. This is where Goku tells him they're about to enter a tournament and they were wondering if Nam wanted to play for their team. Knowing Nam, he would definitely enter the tournament if Baba could point him out to an eternal water source for his people, so that his people can thrive in the desert, not be worried about every little sandstorm that comes by. With enough of a water source, they could stay in their homes during all of the sandstorms and be quite comfortable. And so, the roster is maxed out, 5v5 against Baba's fighters with Dragon Ball's team of Giran, Nam, Krillin, Yamcha, and Goku. The first fight would be Fangs the Vampire versus Giran. Wait, what about Krillin? Well, I think that Giran, typical Dragon Ball style, would say,
"Step aside, Pipsqueak. I'll handle this and every other battle. These guys don't look tough."
What Giran doesn't expect is Fangs' flying, being able to turn into a bat. However, Giran's got that taken care of and takes off after Fangs. With his bulk, even when Fangs gets a nice bite on his arm, it doesn't take long. Left hook, poof, done deal. Fangs is just overpowered by the dinosaur monster. Giran, however, is bested by See-Through the Invisible Man. Because, well, he does know that Giran has a short temper. Given that Giran would probably charge in at him once he's really started losing his aggravation and his hold on his emotions, he would end up flying himself into a ring out. Next up, Nam volunteers to go, unlike Yamcha. Well, we'll still get Yamcha versus Bandages, but Nam's skill set in this endeavor would actually prove to be really useful. He doesn't fight with his eyes if he doesn't have to. With that, he's able to sense exactly where See-Through is with the rest of his senses. He's quite a methodical warrior in that respect. Since Nam can fight without seeing, this gimmick of See-Through doesn't really pan out for Baba's team, and Nam wins easily. Once they head inside, Yamcha asks if he can switch with Nam so that he gets the next fight. He wants to show his friends what he can do. Baba, confident in Bandages, doesn't mind this, and we still get the Yamcha versus Bandages fight, and it ends all the same. With Yamcha being a little bit better this time around because he's a little less fatigued because he didn't have to fight See-Through. Even though it's an even better fight than canon, Yamcha does lose, which means Krillin comes in next. Krillin does about the same as Yamcha here. They have been training under Roshi at the same way, but Yamcha, I think, is a bit less physically adept than Krillin is, not to mention Krillin does have an unforeseen weapon, and I still have hair covering my unforeseen weapon. Not that. Krillin rushes at Bandages in the middle of the fight with an unforeseen tactic, using his hard, bald head to actually do some damage to the mummy. Once the mummy's dazed and slightly winded from the velocity of Krillin's headbutt, that's when Krillin takes the opportunity to break the floor underneath Bandages, and because Bandages was kind of hurting, this is the end of the mummy in a smelly, smelly grave in the middle of the devil's toilet. Next up is Spike the Devil Man, and suffice it to say, Krillin gets hit by the Devil Might Beam, and once he starts swelling, that's when he has to give up immediately. But the Devil Might Beam is already there, and Devilman saying, "Explode! Explode!" Goku saves Krillin by giving Devilman a good thwack to shut him up. This allows the Devil Might Beam to kind of fade out without Devilman ordering it around. He's more along the lines going like, "I can't believe you've done this! Is there a mark on my beautiful head?" Nam then offers to continue because, well, he didn't get knocked out, and Baba allows this. Sure enough, Nam is hit by the Devil Might Beam, in which he just takes a meditative pose and calms his mind. He clears his mind of all distractions, and when the Devilman says, "Explode! Explode!" there's nothing to explode.
How can you be immune to the Devil Might Beam? No man's soul is pure. Explain yourself! It is quite possible that the story that Master Roshi had told about the fighter that was the first recipient of your move did have dark spirits in him. However, my people are taught purity, a live and let live philosophy, handed down through generations. We must respect our enemies as much as we respect ourselves. So I thank you for the introduction to this Devil Might Beam. Now let us continue this fight as a fight and make it a good one. I wish to test your mettle, much as my own mettle must be tested by you.
The two square off as Nam puts up a really good fight against the Devilman. In the end though, he does still have those wings and Nam can't really do a lot, but he does use the walls in this cylindrical room to his advantage. He's very much an aerial fighter like that. Nam does give thanks to the warrior for an excellent match before giving up, seeing that he's gonna run out of steam before this is over, and he doesn't want to end up falling and not returning to his village. Things would then progress just like the anime, with Yamcha asking Roshi for training, but in this scenario, it's not just Yamcha asking for training. Girin gets to know what he wanted to know from Baba and splits, but Nam sticks around, asking Roshi, after he's done in his village, he'd like to go to Kame House and train. Undergo the same training that Goku did, because handling himself against Spike and Grandpa Gohan, he's very much accepted that he needs more training before that tournament comes around. He wants to prove himself. This is where Nam would actually show up, and this is where the title of this What If actually comes forward. After his training with Roshi, after checking out on his village and getting the eternal water source he asked Baba about, this is where Nam would show up, train with Yamcha and Krillin, and be ready to take on Goku. But first, he has to take on Tien Shinhan during the preliminaries. Tell me, what is the one trope that every Dragon Ball villain seems to share? Cast your vote. If your answer was not all of the above, you need to go back to Dragon Ball School. I think Orange Star High School is actually taking applications. When it comes down to it, the Tien Shinhan saga was all about Tien being a villain and becoming a good guy through Roshi. So, let's tackle that. In the preliminaries, Nam would win by decision. Now, this is the second time that I've said decision, but before I get into the fight itself, let me explain, because I've used this once before right here when it came down to it. I think when you're dealing with people that have such close power levels, not only does it add an air of drama as far as the characters to have it be a decision, but it also makes a lot more sense than one just outright being better than the other. Nam is clearly inferior to Tien Shinhan, as he would be about on par with Yamcha, and we know how well that worked out for him. Therefore, combining the fact that villains underestimate people with the fact that Nam trained a lot more, Nam would get the jump on him during the beginning of the 3 minutes. Tien would be overconfident, rolling his eyes and honestly just saying that you're wasting your time, but I'll give you one free hit. That one free hit was stronger than Tien Shinhan would have bargained for, as he nearly gets launched out of the ring. Lucky for Tien, he knows how to fly. The judges would go through the 3-minute footage and decide that Nam would progress to the 22nd World Martial Arts Tournament in order to, Tien would have fallen out if he was any other man. Nam probably would have won that. And so the 22nd World Martial Arts Tournament brackets would be: the fourth fight would be Yamcha versus Chaozu. The second fight would be Krillin versus Goku. The first fight would be Pamput versus Jackie Chun. And the second fight would be Nam versus Tien Shinhan? Hold on, Saga, you're not being consistent with the what-if. You said that Nam beat Tien. Flag the video and take it off YouTube. This guy's a hack. A hack. I'm gonna write an angry letter. Dear Buttmonk's face. Here's the thing. Tien Shinhan is a really, really bad guy in the series at this point. We have brought up to see how this guy could just be irredeemable in every way, shape, or form. He wants to be a killer like Mercenary Tao. That's how hardcore Tien was sold to us at this point of Dragon Ball. Unfortunately, Tao being an inspiration for Tien here, it does show, as we get our first death before the King Piccolo saga, other than Bora. Manwolf. With Shen's telepathy being a strategist, Chaozu being able to use his telekinesis to change the name on the board, and Tien being able to do the dirty work, securing the little card with the number that Manwolf probably held on to, Tien would make his way into the World Martial Arts Tournament the hard way. The battles would be similar to canon. The first fight with Pamput and Jackie Chun is just Jackie Chun telling him to stop acting and actually be a martial artist. Stop it. Alright, not a martial arts, stop it. Krillin and Goku's fight would go just like the anime did, and Yamcha and Chaozu? Come on. Yamcha's actually gonna win a fight in the tournament because he's about as clever as Krillin is. So, good on you, Yamcha. You didn't get knocked out immediately. But that doesn't help you because your next opponent's Goku. And now we go to Tien versus Nam, the second round of the 22nd World Martial Arts Tournament.
I didn't think I'd be able to take my revenge on you so soon. I'm not going to hold back like I did in the preliminaries, desert urchin. Say what you wish, for it is not my concern as to how you got back in the tournament. I only wish for a good fight that tests all of our abilities on this tournament ground. That is all. You talk big, peasant, but a time limit's not gonna save you here. I'll enjoy breaking you in the middle of this stage.
Nam puts up a very, very good fight here, and unfortunately, Tien's speed and stamina would outdo Nam. During the match, Nam does land a nice cross-arm dive, but it's not good enough to stop Tien Shinhan. Tien would respond in kind with his goofy yet effective volleyball fist technique. The way I see it go is that Nam would be lured into the air by Tien Shinhan. Tien Shinhan would jump faster than Nam, getting above him and smacking him downward. As he's heading down, Nam is the recipient of the volleyball fist. The save, the pass, and the spike. After the spike, Nam would pretty much barely be able to move because he's about given all he can against Tien Shinhan. However, Tien Shinhan's not done, as Nam screams in pain, coming down on his left shoulder and breaking his arm right in here. The 22nd World Martial Arts Tournament would go about the same, but for additional details, gonna have to wait for part 2 on this one. So what do you all think? Do you think Nam's inclusion changes anything as far as what happens with the King Piccolo saga? What about the rest of the 22nd World Martial Arts Tournament? would there be anything added in there? Go ahead and leave a comment below for more what ifs in the realm of video gaming and Dragon Ball alike, such as if we had good boy Jace on the roster. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.
I am the peaceful. Ow. 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 I am still the. Ow. I am still the peaceful warrior. Ow.